Okay, recording. Here we have -4 take away 2, and that is going to be, they have the same sign, so I'm just going to add the 4 and the 2, that's 6, and keep the sign -6. Here I have different signs, so I'm going to subtract, and 10 take away 8 is 2, and what's bigger, positive or the negative? In this case, 10 or 8. 10 is bigger, and it's positive, so the answer is positive 2. I have -12 plus 4, the 12 is bigger than the 4, so I'm going to subtract 12, take away 4 is 8, and I'm going to keep the sign a little larger. 12 is larger than 4, and it's negative. So negative. Okay, here we have 4 take away 11. So the signs are different. So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to keep the sign a little larger. So 11 is bigger than 4. 11 is negative, so it's going to be negative, and 11 take away 4 is 7. Okay, here we have signs beside each other. Think of it as if the signs agree, that's positive. The signs are different. If they disagree, that's negative. Okay, so negative, negative. The signs agree, that's positive 2. Okay, here we have negative, positive. They disagree, that's -9. You have a negative times a negative. Same rule. If they agree, it's positive, so that's going to be positive 8. -8 times 2. Disagree, so -16. Positive, a negative divided by negative. They agree, so it's going to be positive. Same rule, once again, for division, 7. You don't have to write the plus, though. 8 times -5, disagree, -40. 5 times -7, they disagree, -35. A negative divided by positive, they disagree, so that's going to be -3. Okay. Compass and ruler constructions. So here we're being asked to bisect line segment AB. So to do that, I'm going to put my compass on the compass point on A, adjust my compass so the pencil goes past halfway. I usually go about 3/4 of the way to my B. Okay, make an arc. Without adjusting, put the point of the compass on B, make an arc. Okay, where the two arcs cross, we're going to connect those dots. Okay, so I'm going to connect that line like that. Okay, so this is called a perpendicular bisector because it bisects line segment AB. Okay, so this length is equal to that length, and it's perpendicular, it's at 90 degrees. All right, bisect angle ABC. All right, so to bisect that, to cut an angle in half, what we do is you put your point on A. I usually adjust to about 3 or 4 centimeters, and I make an arc that cuts through both legs of the angle like that. Then put the point on A, and you don't have to adjust, but you have to make sure that the compass goes past the halfway point. Okay, so the only problem is if it's too short and it doesn't go past the halfway. Because we're going to go down here and do the same thing, and we're looking for when those two arcs meet. So in order for them to meet, they have to be past the halfway point of the angle. So I'm going to extend this so it goes a little bit past the halfway. You can go a lot past the halfway if you like. Okay, make an arc without adjusting. Put your pencil, the point, where the arc crossed the other leg of the angle, and make the same arc. Where the two arcs cross, notice they cross right in the center of the angle. Okay, you're going to connect where the two arcs cross to the vertex. And we have bisected the angle. Okay, next question. We have part 2 is transformations. Okay, so part 2. Transformations. Translate triangle ABC according to this arrow translation. Okay, so here's triangle ABC, and we're following this arrow. Now we're going to break that into its X direction and its Y direction. The arrow goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. Okay, so if we're writing that as a translation, we're going 8 steps in the positive X direction. Okay, so 8 steps like this. And then we're going 8 steps up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so like that. So over 8, up 8. So the translation would be over 8, up 8. So we take each of our points, move them over 8, then up 8. Okay, so my A, which is at -7, the X value is at -7, we're going to move it over 8, so it's +1, and then up 8. It's at -8, so up 8 is going to give me 0. So my A prime is going to be right here at 1, 0. So we write that down, 1, 0. Okay, the B, that's A prime, is 1, 0. The B is at 0, negative 2. So right here at the 0 for the x value, I'm going to add 8 to that. Okay, and then for the y value, I'm at negative 2, I'm going to add 8. That's going to bring me up to 6. Okay, so here's my B prime at 8, 6. Okay, my C, which is at negative 5, I'm going to bring it over 8, so it's going to be at positive 3. And then I'm going to go up 8 from 0, so I'm going to be at positive 8. Okay, right here. So C prime. So it's at 3, 8. Just like that. Okay, then don't forget to connect your dots. Make the triangle using a ruler. Okay, that's question 2. Okay, notice that if you draw a line, from C to C prime, it's parallel to your arrow. And in fact, if you draw from C to C prime, it's the same length as your arrow. And if you put a little arrowhead, it's the same arrow. Okay, same with B, same with A. Okay, that's it for question 1 for transformations. Okay, question 2. We're being asked to rotate about the origin, that's the origin, negative 90 degrees, okay? So negative 90 degrees is clockwise, all right? Because remember, the sun rises in the east, okay? The early mathematicians, that's what they were after. They were looking at the sun. They're saying, okay, the sun rises in the east, and it's going up here till noon, and that's 90 degrees, and then setting down here, okay? So that was the positive direction. Okay, and this is the negative direction. So we're going to be moving the shape down like that. And remember, as you rotate it, the A is going to move into the next quadrant. The C is going to move into the next quadrant. The B is going to move down into this quadrant. Okay, so the A is going to end up in quadrant 3. The C is going to end up in quadrant 3. And the B is going to end up in quadrant 4. Okay, so easiest way to do this, easiest way by far, is just put your pencil on the origin and rotate the shape 90 degrees in the right direction. Okay, and there's where your new shape's going to be. Just read it off. The A is going to be at negative 2, negative 2. The B is going to be at 6, negative 10. The C is going to be at negative 1, negative 9, and that's it. Okay, write those down and then, plot your points. Okay, so you can do it that way. You could also do it by using the mapping notation. X, Y maps onto the X and Y switch places, and the X changes signs when it becomes the new Y value. Okay, so that's it. So if we were looking at our A point, I'm going to use the B point because it's more challenging, which is 10, 6. So the B is 10, 6. And so the new B point, which we call B prime, is going to be 6, negative 10. Okay, so bring the Y, make that the new X, take the X, send it to the back and change its sign, negative 10. Okay, so the B point is going to be with the 2 we've already established is at negative 2, negative 2. So there's your A prime at negative 2, negative 2. And your B prime is going to be 6, negative 10. So 6, negative 10, right there. Okay, so that's B prime. Okay, and your C prime, you can just use the mapping if you like. I'm just going to use that rule that says, look, it's going to end up in the next quadrant over. And we know that the X and Y is going to switch. So knowing what quadrant, I can just ignore the signs. So the C, I'm going to think of it as 9, 1 in this quadrant. It's going to end up in quadrant 3 at 1, 9. Okay, because we know it's quadrant 3, 1, 9 is down this way. Okay, so this is our C prime. And now it's really negative 1, negative 9. So I'm going to write that, negative 1, negative 9. Okay, so those are all the different ways that you can do a rotation, and the easiest one by far is just rotating the page. Okay, and if you're doing this on your iPad, just rotate the iPad. Okay, all right, so that is question number 2. And question number 3. Reflect triangle ABC across the line, oops, you can't see that, across the line x is equal to 2. So we want to find that line, all right? So x is equal to 2, the hint is it crosses the x-axis at 2. Okay, the line x equals 2, think of it this way. It's the line where x is always 2. Okay? X is always 2. So no matter what the point, if we're looking at this point, okay, the x is 2, the y is 4, the x is 2, the y is 5, the x is 2, the y is 6, the x is 2, the y is 6.75, the x is 2, the y is 7, okay? So no matter which point you pick along this line, the x is 2, and that's why it's called x is 2. All right, so that's our mirror. The A is, we're at 2, the A is at 6, so we're 4 steps away from the mirror. We're going to be 4 steps on the other side, right here. So the A prime is going to be negative 2, 1. Okay, the B prime, we're at 5, 3. Okay, so we're 3 steps from the mirror on this side. So on the left side, we're going to be 3 steps away from the mirror. So we're at negative 1, positive 3. Negative 1, positive 3, and that's B prime. The C, we're at 10, and so we're 8 steps away from the mirror on this side. So we're going to be 8 steps on the other side. So that's going to be at negative 6. Okay, so here's our C prime, negative 6, 8. Okay, and just connect the dots. Just like that. And there we are. Okay, notice it's a reflection. It's symmetrical about this line. And that's it for the quiz. Have a good day.